I hope you have already studied few things about EDM, that is electric discharge machining. So we'll be discussing this method in very brief. This machine is also available in our fabrication shop, so you can also see its actual working whenever you are back to campus. So electric discharge machining was basically invented in World War II, and that is for cutting the hard to cut materials. Okay, it was uh, developed in World War II and for cutting hard to cut material, because armies were making equipments which required hard material, very hard material, and they were very tough to machine on conventional machining systems like lathe or milling. So a hard to cut material includes titanium basically, you know, or some aluminum alloys also become very tough to machine when they are mixed with silicon. So these are all materials, and in it was developed by USSR, basically an army of USSR. So in this electric discharge machining, there is a tool, and then there is this workpiece, and both of them remain submerged into a dielectric fluid. So in ECM it was electrolyte, and here it is dielectric. Okay. So dielectric fluid, it's a kind of fluid which, upon receiving having enough electrostatic field, it gets uh, dissociated in electrons and ions. Okay. So and it is a very good conductor of electricity. So during the operation, if you touch this fluid, you may get shock. Okay. And here the tool generally remains negative, and the workpiece is generally remain positive, and both of them are given electrical charge. So what happens is that it was observed that when there is enough voltage or enough electrostatic field between tool and the workpiece, then what happens is that from the workpiece, electrons start to flow, sorry, from the tool, electrons start to flow towards the workpiece. However, these electrons flow at a very high speed from cathode, that is the tool, and to anode, that is a workpiece. And you must also remember that we are required to remove the material from the workpiece. So, and that is the reason why we have taken workpiece as anode, because we know it was found, it was actually observed experimentally. There are very few fundamental basis why the material removal takes place in larger amount from the anode when compared to cathode. So it was basically found that when we use the same material for workpiece as well as tool, so material removal from the positive terminal was more than negative terminal. Okay. Anode was found to wear more. when both the materials were same. Here also both the materials are electrical conductivity, and it was found that the material deteriorates at the positive terminal at a very high speed. And what happens, if you remember the mechanism of the material removal, it is also the heating and melting time kind of phenomena. Just like in laser beam, it was a photon. Here it's a group of electrons which travel from negative terminal to positive terminal, and these high velocity electrons between the which actually leave the cathode and move towards the anode. If I draw it just a big exaggerated view, so these electrons actually strike the dielectric fluid also, and as they strike to this dielectric fluid, upon getting this much energy, they get uh, dissociated into electrons and ions. Okay. And as soon as these ions start forming around the tool, ions are heavy particles than electron, and they start uh, forming a channel around this passage of electrons. Okay, and these are very dense ions, and ions are very good conductor of electricity. Okay, and therefore they allow electrons to move from cathode to anode, and thus the spark happens. So basically you can say that there is avalanche of electrons through a narrow tunnel made by ions. And the spark happens because there is some gap which is called a spark gap. So there is a gap between tool and the workpiece, which is, and this gap is called spark gap. So this is the spark gap. Spark gap determines the intensity of electrostatic field between cathode and anode. Okay. If a spark gap is very large, a very large voltage field is required to be maintained. If a spark gap is too low, so that the ions tunnel didn't get formed, then there will also not be any spark. So in order to have sufficient spark, there should be a minimum gap between tool and workpiece, which we called spark gap, and spark gap generally remains in the order of 5 micron to 25 micron. Now, in order to maintain this much small gap between tool and workpiece, we give or we utilize some kind of electrical circuit, and which remains connected to a servo motor. So a servo motor with some kind of sensor, it it detects the position of workpiece and tool precisely. So as soon as the spark have, let's say if there is this tool and there is this workpiece, and see this, here is the minimum distance between tool and workpiece. Okay, so a spark starts occurring when the distance is minimum. So it forms a crater here in the workpiece. So as the crater gets formed, again this distance between tool and workpiece increases. So the spark again starts happening at the places where the gap is minimum. And in that way, it forms a mirror surface or a mirror replica over the workpiece. Okay. So in EDM, the workpiece, I can say the mirror replica of tool is formed on workpiece. It is not that the tool does not erodes. It's just that tool also erodes, but at a much lower rate when compared to the workpiece. In fact, the tool wear rate is one of the research topic. A lot of people do study how the tool wear happens and how the tool wear uh, decides the future outcome of the workpiece. So that is why in many cases, while designing a tool for EDM, they surplus the material equivalent to the amount of tool wear. Okay, तो अगर मटेरियल को थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा साइज का बनाते हैं, ओवर साइज, ताकि बाद में उसका टूल वियर होने पे वो वर्क पीस पे प्रिसाइज साइज का हो जाए. सो ऑल्सो the spark frequency generally remains of the order of uh, it remains very high. Okay, so it generally remains of the order of 200 to 500 kilohertz. Sorry, uh, yeah, 200 to 500 kilohertz, which actually means that approximately 2 lakh to 5 lakh of spark occurs every second. Okay, so much spark occurs at every second, and each spark creates the crater on the workpiece. Each spark has a lot of energy, and the temperature of the tunnel, the avalanche of electron, this may go very high. It's a kind of plasma. You see, it is surrounded by ions, and the temperature sometimes goes from 10,000 degrees centigrade to 15,000 degrees centigrade. And at this much high temperature, the material will melt, and it will form a crater. So there is a melting and vaporization which occur at the surface, and because each spark is having very small dimension, so the material removal can be controlled very precisely. If we can control the number of spark, we can also control the material removal rate. So MRR is controlled by number of sparks the voltage gap generally remains in the order of 30 to 250 volts. And although it depends on the kind of material, but in general it was found that material removal rate can be obtained up to 300 cube per minute. That is sufficiently large. Although compared to other processes, uh, this may be very small amount, and it depends which kind of material we are using, which kind of voltage gap we are applying. Because I have seen people using EDM and doing the experiments for days, means 2, 3, 4 days. The experiment continuously goes on. So for very small amount. So material removal rate is although not a very good uh, factor to compare in case of EDM, because the preciseness, okay, the material removal is very precise. Okay. So when the preciseness or the precision is required, MRR becomes secondary. However, when we have to remove the material in bulk, it is not suggested to use EDM. In order to maintain the distance between tool and the workpiece, several kind of devices can be used. Sometimes they use servo motors, sometimes they use stepper motors, sometimes even a solenoid valve can be used in order to maintain a precise gap between tool and the workpiece. So this machine involves a lot of electrical circuit, not only for this, for maintaining this gap, also for generating enough electricity voltage gap. So there are a lot of circuits available, which like RC circuit, and a lot of circuits are available. If we delve into the electrical part, a lot of uh, capacitors are used. So electrical part is too heavy for this kind of machining. Uh, why the positive terminal erodes faster? There are no hard uh, positive terminal remains faster. It was experimentally found, and there is no theoretical basis of this phenomena, but still a few theories which are available, which says that the momentum of stream of electrons which strike on the positive terminal is much more than the stream of positive ions impinging on the cathode. Okay, तो यहाँ पे अगर आप देखिए, if there is a workpiece और यहाँ पे इलेक्ट्रॉन्स स्ट्राइक कर रहे हैं, तो वो जो इलेक्ट्रॉन्स की मोमेंटम होती है ना, एक तो ये नेचुरल एक फिनोमेना है कि इलेक्ट्रॉन्स मूव फ्रॉम निगेटिव टू पॉजिटिव, इसके कारण भी एक अट्रैक्शन होता है। और फिर ये जब आयंस से सराउंड हो जाते हैं, एंड आयंस आर ग्रेट कंडक्टर्स ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, and as these ions, they also help in movement of electrons from negative terminal to positive terminal, and that is why the momentum of electrons towards this positive terminal generally remains much high when compared to ions, which impinge on cathode. So generally क्या होता है, ions जो है वो cathode पे impinge करते हैं, जिसके कारण tool wear होता है। और वर्कपीस से जो मटेरियल रिमूव होता है वो इलेक्ट्रॉन्स के कारण होता है, एंड दीज इलेक्ट्रॉन्स दे स्ट्राइक एट अ वेरी हाई मोमेंटम, है ना, उनका वेलोसिटी स्पीड बहुत ही ज़्यादा होता है, दैट इज एंड ड्यू टू दिस वेरी हाई मोमेंटम they remove a considerable part over the workpiece when compared to mass removal from the cathode. Also, it was found that if there is this fluid, so this fluid gets dissociated in ions and electrons, and they form a protective film on cathode. And this protective film also helps to minimize the tool wear. This material is subjected to shock. ओके यहाँ पे स्पार्क तो होता है, लेकिन यहाँ पे इसके कारण इस फ्लूइड में शॉक वेव्स आते हैं, तो उसके कारण क्या होता है कि दिस टूल इज सब्जेक्टेड टू कंप्रेसिव लोड, And when this tool is subjected to compressive load, it tries to form a very strong surface which actually resists this compressive load. You know? It's like strain hardening. So the material gets hardened, and therefore again it does not erodes with mechanical forces. So these kind of things can be said for the reason that anode erodes faster than the cathode. There are a lot of theories available that how these craters are formed, you know, and in fact, all of this theory is available, but it's very difficult to match the theory with actual results because it is very difficult to control the number of spark at any particular instant. However, there are some electronic circuits available which claim to say that they can precisely control the number of spark, but it's really difficult, and different experiments prove different results. Okay. I hope that you have already gone through some of the equations during your advanced machining method classes. So this is also not very important for our course, but I just wish to discuss about surface finish. Now, material removal takes place due to the formation of crater on the workpiece. A lot of craters, you know. In fact, each spark generates some crater. So, if the crater size is large, इसका मतलब है कि बहुत ज़्यादा थर्मल एनर्जी है अगर, तो उसके कारण सरफेस फिनिश उसका कम हो जाएगा, है ना, क्योंकि a lot of craters of big size they create large surface roughness. So the crater size, which actually depends on energy, it controls the quality of the workpiece, you know, quality of the machined surface. So, and again, this energy depends on the voltage gap. So if I try to plot a curve, then if this is voltage gap versus, let's say on this, on the y-axis there is surface roughness. I'm just talking about an average surface roughness, RA value, and here let's say I'm just talking voltage and capacitance. Okay, both are interrelated. So if let's say this is V03, that is the voltage gap, this is V02 and this is V01, and let's say that V03 is greater than V02, so the voltage gap is greater than V01. So if the voltage gap is large, upon increasing this capacitance, the surface roughness will increase because at the higher voltage or the higher energy deposition, the crater size is large. So that is how we are also required to keep our voltage gap to a very optimum value so that proper surface finish can be obtained. Also, not only this, the flow of electrolyte between tool and workpiece is very important. And when we can give a simple circulation, a natural circulation, we can also give a forced circulation in which the speed of the fluid remains very high. And it was found that when we give this forced circulation, then the surface finish remains good. Okay. The reason can be it can be said that they flush away very small particles generated from the crater, and if they flush away in a very efficient manner, then the spark each time at each point, the spark which gets generated does not gets distracted or does not gets any hindrance, and therefore each spark is clean. Okay, so that is why it was found that the forced circulation produces better surface finish. Although this forced circulation requires some extra energy, and we must during the calculations of energy, if it becomes important, we must keep in our mind that this forced circulation is associated with some kind of energy consumption, which actually in terms of energy reduces its efficiency. So it depends whether you want to invest less money on the energy or you want a better surface finish. So again, it is all about optimization problem. There are some major drawback. One major drawback of this process is taperedness. Or taperedness, let's say if you have a cylindrical tool and you need to make a hole in the workpiece using this cylindrical tool. So as the tool is fed towards the workpiece and the crater gets formed at each point. Now see, material removal takes place at tools as well as workpiece. तो ये cylindrical का जो डाया है वो छोटा होते जाता है ना? और उसके कारण इसमें जो होल बनते जाता है वो कुछ कुछ टेपर होते जाते हैं. And it is just because of the tool wear, because the material removal also takes place from here on this surface. A very uniform tool wear happens surrounding this cylindrical tool, and that is why taperness of the hole is one major drawback. An overcut is also possible, you see, because of this tool wear only. So what is an overcut is the dimension by which the hole in the workpiece exceeds the electrolyte size, है ना? तो ये अब जैसे ही ये टूल जाता है, अब क्योंकि स्पार्क जनरेट होता है तो ये टूल का जैसा ही शेप है वैसा ही सेम साइज इधर आएगा, लेकिन उससे थोड़ा सा बड़ा हो जाएगा ना, बिकॉज ऑफ द क्रेटर फॉर्मेशन, एंड दिस पार्ट इज कॉल्ड ओवरकट. So the magnitude of this overcut is dependent on the spark length. So spark is of whatever length and how much crater it is being formed on each surface, है ना? क्रेटर इधर से भी फॉर्म होता है, इधर से भी फॉर्म होता है, और उसके इस बेस सरफेस पे भी फॉर्म होता है. सो every part of this tool is subjected to some kind of crater producing site. Okay. And so there are two major drawbacks. One is taperness, another is overcut. A slightly variant process of EDM is called reverse EDM. Reverse EDM is nothing but when we just change the polarity of tool and the workpiece. Initially we took tool as negative and workpiece as positive. If we change this and make this tool positive and the workpiece negative, then this kind of process is called reverse EDM. And in this process, uh, the material removal takes place on the tool side more when compared to workpiece. Okay, and so some designs can be formed, some intricate designs can be formed on the cutting tool, which are not possible with the help of other existing processes. For an example, if we want to make a tool like this, जिसपे बहुत सारे कॉपर के पिन हैं. अच्छा, मैं कॉपर इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ कि कॉपर एंड ब्रास आर द मोस्ट कॉमन मटेरियल्स विच आर यूज फॉर मेकिंग द टूल इन ईडीएम, है ना. तो ईडीएम का जो जनरली टूल मार्केट में अवेलेबल है इज मेड ऑफ आइदर कॉपर और ब्रास, because they conduct the electricity very well, and it was found that the tool wear happens minimum in both the cases. But let's say if there is this tool जहाँ पे आपको copper की pin बनानी है, so in this case we can just give uh, the tool as positive terminal and a workpiece as a negative terminal. Okay, and the workpiece should be so much designed that it actually work as a tool, है ना. तो ये जहाँ जहाँ पे होगा वहाँ वहाँ मटेरियल को रिमूव करेगा. सो वर्कपीस. अच्छा, एक और जो ड्रॉबैक इस प्रोसेस के साथ है वो ये है कि फॉर एवरी डिफरेंट डिज़ाइन यू हैव टू डिज़ाइन ए डिफरेंट टूल, और वो टूल को बनाना इतना आसान नहीं होता. वो टूल में अगर इंट्रिकेट शेप है तो इट इज़ अगेन ए प्रॉब्लम हाउ यू विल मेक द इंट्रिकेट शेप. So every time you need to design a new tool for every process, and the tool wear happens, so the overall process becomes very, very costly. So this wear, tool wear is a very big problem. Let's talk something about dielectric fluid. The most common dielectric fluid which is used is kerosene or some hydrocarbon oils. Okay, which should be very low, which should have very low viscosity. So low viscosity helps in flushing away the burrs or the very small material which has been already removed. And also because a lot of heat it is subjected to a lot of heat, uh, it should not produce toxic vapors. Okay. It should not react on any of the surface. It means that it should be chemically neutral. Also, it should not burn, or it should not produce flames. So this is also important. So you can just write absence of inflaming tendency. And fifth, which is rather more important, is it should have very low cost. A lot of fluid is required because the fluid is circulated, it goes in, goes out, and the fluid circulation unit itself is very costly for such machining processes. So So this is I think this is all about EDM, and in next turn we will be discussing about ECDM.